Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You want to put your video on, Amber? Oh, and I can't see you, Beck, either.
Oh.
I can't see Amber anymore. Are you still there, Amber?
Can you see me?
No. If you go down to the bottom left-hand corner, you can put your video on.
Start video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I got locked out of my apartment this morning. It was so funny, and it's a public holiday.
Oh.
So I just was like, right, I'm gonna go for a quick run, get some exercise, then come back, get ready. And then I walk out the door and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have my keys.
Oh no.
Oh no. And then so then I realized like the managers of the building, hey Jojo, the managers of the building aren't in today because it's a public holiday. So I had to pay a locksmith to come out and just open the door for me. Oh my gosh, so funny.
Oh.
How are you this morning, Joe?
Good morning. I'm good.
How is
I'm very excited to be on the call.
How is Brisbane?
Brisbane was great. And then I was in Sydney and on Saturday morning. So it was very busy. And now I'm home.
Oh, wow. Did you go to that same
It was
wedding
very
with
good.
Stanzi?
No, I didn't go to the wedding. No, I had an oils workshop there on
Yeah,
Saturday.
I saw you with, that's right, I saw you and Nikki.
With Nikki.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good. It was great. It was really beautiful. And then I came home yesterday. It was a whirlwind trip and then getting what I need to get done and now back into it.
Yep.
I'm excited to be on the call. I'm excited to be on this call live, which is good.
Yeah, I know. Amber was on. I don't know what happened. I'm just going to see if I can message her quickly.
I'm going to try and log on from my PC versus my phone, but I didn't want to miss out on anything. So I just thought I'll just dial in and then I'll wait till that fires up properly.
Yeah.
Who else is on? Who can I say hello to?
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi.
Beck signed up last week and Beck's with doTERRA oils.
Oh, fantastico. Awesome.
Another oily person.
We're all oily. There's no other way to be.
Exactly.
The oil.
Hi, Bernice.
Oh, you're back, Amber?
Yeah.
You? All right.
I don't know what happened. My internet dropped. What?
I'm just sending one of the ladies has messaged me asking for the link, so I'm just sending it to her. There we go. I might just post it.
What oils do you do, Joe? Young Living, is it? Or?
Yeah, Young Living.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for?
Since 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Since November 2014.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
And yourself?
I've been using doTERRA for about a year.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
And where do you live?
In Pottsville, which is about half an hour up the road from Byron.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
Right near the
part of
beach
the world.
and everything. Yeah, really nice. How about yourself? Where are you from?
I'm in Melbourne, in Brunswick.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to
Yeah.
be really nice. I haven't been to Melbourne.
You haven't? Oh my gosh, you have to come visit.
Yeah.
Nikki! Ah! Hi, honeys! You have been hanging around with me for a long time.
I'm literally running in my house. I'm always screaming at my kids, stop running in the house. And I'm running. I'm like running to get headphones. I'm running to get food. I'm running to put washing on. I got my crazy on today, clearly.
I love you. I love you. There's an oil for that.
Yeah.
Grounding.
I just can't decide which one. Oh, friggin' hell.
These little treats can be hilarious. So funny.
I love it.
Hi, Pennies.
Hi. So I don't know if anyone else is jumping on. Ange said she's going to jump on for the second half, but we're recording it anyway, so it's 9:10, so I think we may as well go ahead and get started. It's a public holiday here too, Amber, so
Oh.
all right. Oh, I can't hear you, no.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What holiday is it?
What is the public holiday today?
Is it Labour Day? No.
Yeah.
I think it's Queen's birthday or something like that.
Queen's birthday. I don't know. Some Queensland one.
Yeah. I just never even know there's a public holiday until the day. I've got like my whole day is booked with sales calls, so I did not know it was a public holiday.
Just another Monday for you.
So I don't know where Joe went now. Joe, you disappeared. Can you hear us, Joe?
Yeah, I tried to log on from my PC, but I need to do something with it. My camera's not showing, so I need to deal with that. So I'm back on from my phone.
All right, awesome. I reckon we can just go for it then.
Okay, you want me to get started? I'm going to share my screen with you guys and go through a presentation that I made. Okay, let's see. Okay. I know like on the sales page, this is called, like this presentation is called something else, but I renamed it. So don't, so you're not, just so you don't like see it and you're like, what, that's not what it was supposed to be. Let's see. Okay. So today we're going to talk about brand consistency and how to bring your message to life. So first off, I want to talk about who I am. I'm Amber Seacrest, and I founded Brand Alchemy. I started my business in late 2015, and I was creating brands for basically spiritual female entrepreneurs. Like that was my main niche at the time. So I started off doing branding and websites. Since then, I've started doing funnels and Facebook ads. And I also just got into the e-com space with an online shop. And I'm also a photographer. So I do lots of different things. But my main thing is like branding, websites, funnels, and Facebook ads. So today we're going to talk a little bit about messaging. Hold on, I gotta move this. Thank you, small. Okay, so today we're going to talk about messaging and how to get inside your client's head so that you can speak to them for more impact and bigger money paydays, and how to pick your brand colors without going into overwhelm. And then I'm going to show you examples of how to implement your brand. Like once you pick your colors and your fonts and all that jazz, like what do you do with it? So I'm going to show you some examples of some clients of mine. And then at any point during this process, if you have a question, like just speak up, let me know. I don't know like if you raise your hand if I'll see it, but like, and then I'll also ask or answer questions at the end as well. Okay, so copywriting. So the number one thing to remember is to talk to one person. So great copy starts with really understanding who your ideal client is. And the biggest mistake I see entrepreneurs make is trying to talk to everybody. Like everyone seems to be really scared about really narrowing in on one type of client because they're like, well, I can help everybody. But when you do that, like you only, like no one will hear you. So what you want to do is make sure that you're speaking to one person. So when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. So just remember that. Ideally, you want to know everything about this person. So like demographics, lifestyle, interests, etc., to the point where you've brought her to life and actually given this person a name. So here's an example. Back in 2016, this was my ideal client. She was a mom. She was, she had a family. She was spiritual. She was into minimalism and kind of that boho lifestyle, healthy food, entrepreneur. She was into like wealth mindset. And this is kind of like, this was my ideal client at the time. So just an example of like how I brought her to life for my own marketing. Okay, so you're going to be getting this presentation as a PDF as well. So you'll have all these questions to refer back to. But here, I'm going to have a bunch of questions in here for you to answer that's going to help guide you through this process. So you want to know what her pain points are. So like, what does she stay up worrying about at night? So remember that you were once this person, probably. Most likely, that's who you're helping. So step back in time and tap into what she's feeling. Remember what it felt like to be in her spot. Where does she want to be? And what would her life look like if she had everything that she desired? So what would that feel like? Really tap into what she's feeling. All right, so here's a little bonus. You can create a Pinterest board that visually represents your dream client. So keep it limited to about 10 photos. Otherwise, it just gets too overwhelming. So every time you sit down to write, you can pull up your Pinterest board and you can tune in to what she's feeling, what she's wanting, and you can write to that person. And it helps keep your brand, your messaging consistent. Does anyone have any questions about messaging or anything? Okay.
Nope.
Okay, good. All right, so now let's talk about color palette. So let's talk about your brand style. So I want you to quit looking at what everyone else is doing because it's really hard to keep up with a brand that isn't 100% you. Plus, you'll attract the wrong people and not your soulmate clients. So we're talking about how to build a personal brand. Like if you were making a brand for like a product, that's a little bit different. But when it comes to a personal brand, you want to brand who you are, right? So you're not trying to create something out of thin air. Think about your style. Like look in your closet, around your home, your personality, and just how you do life in general. And like how can you infuse that into your branding? So here's a list of questions to go through. So like, how would you describe your personal style? Like, is it romantic, boho? Is it upscale and classy, like more Kate Spade? Choose your brand style based on what you already love, and you won't have any troubles like living on brand. And this is really important for social media too, because that way it'll stay consistent across the platforms. If you were earning, like if you were to have $1 million tomorrow, what about you would stay the same? I know that there's certain things about me that, like, whenever I was 25, they're the same things that are, you know, there are some things that are the same about me now, you know, like 10 years later. So, like, what are those things? So describe your personality. So are you loud and bold? Are you soft and feminine? Are you girly with an edge? Like, what is your personality like? Can you express your personality in color? So, like, are you shy and soft-spoken? Would that be more, you could express that with like pastel colors? Are you kind of edgy? So you might have some like black and bold colors. Are you someone who maybe is a little bit of both? So you like some edgy, you know, like edgy elements mixed with some soft colors. Like, how can you bring the different parts of your personality into your branding? And then what colors show up in your house and in your closet the most? So I'm sure if you went to your closet and you looked around your house, you could probably see some colors that start to come out, like some reoccurring colors. Like black is probably, like for me personally, it's like blacks, grays, pinks, like a lot of those things show up in my closet and around my house. So what are those for you? Any questions here so far?
Actually, I do have a question around colors.
Okay.
Is it more around, because you know, I've been in other programs where they talk about the colors that suit your skin and so on and so forth. Sometimes I find, for me personally, that the colors that they're not necessarily the colors that I wear. So how do we sort of maybe what looks best is not necessarily what you wear the most? Does that make sense? So I suppose I'm asking, do we just go in this particular moment for the branding that we're doing with what we're comfortable in and what we wear the most right now? Or will there be any kind of maybe advice or consultation if it's working or not working?
I always recommend going with your personal style. So, I mean, I don't know what you've been taught in the past, but like this, what I always tell people is to go with their own personal style, like not trying to like be something that they're not or fit into like what the latest trends are, stuff like that. But like go with you, because it's going to be easier to be consistent, you know, in all of your branding, you know, like in your photos, on social media. And then that way, when you create graphics, it matches all the way across. So, because you're creating a personal brand. It's not the same as like creating a product, you know, like packaging and stuff. So it's different. Like it's about you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. That's answered my question. I feel like it's like just where whatever is more comfortable for me, who I am, rather than trying to fit into any kind of particular mold or based on my eye color or my skin color or whatever. Right.
Because you want to attract people who like you. And so if you're always acting like you, then you're going to attract people, you know, like that like you know? So you don't want to attract the wrong people and be like trying to put up this front all the time. So
it's inauthentic. Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Can't really see. Okay. All right. Oops. All right. So choosing your color palette. So when it comes to creating your color palette, it's best to choose 1 to 2 neutral colors, such as black, white, gray, brown, and 2 to 3 main brand colors. So remember to keep it simple. Like you can have more brand colors. Like if you get on Pinterest and search color palettes, you'll usually see something that has like between 6 and 8 colors. And to me, if you're just getting started out with branding, like it's going to be really hard for you to keep that simple and consistent across all your platforms. So what I suggest is to just keep it simple, because like a designer can probably take 6 to 8 colors and implement that consistently, you know, like with graphics and photos and all that stuff. But when it comes to you implementing your brand on a daily basis, like you want to make it easy. So I recommend choosing 1 to 2 neutral colors and 2 to 3 main brand colors. So, and your brand doesn't have to be complicated to be, you know, to look good and look professional. So here's how you do it. You start by picking your boldest color first. So if you're going for a soft color palette, choose the main color for your brand. So for my color palette, I have black is one of the main colors, and then I have like 3 different colors of pink, but I have one pink that I use the most often, and then I have an accent color, which is yellow. So that's kind of how I did it with mine. You don't see all of the colors of my brand all the time, but you always see the black and the one pink. So, and then you pick 1 to 2 complementary colors, and then you choose your neutral colors. So like black and white, gray, brown. Yeah, so those are neutral colors. Any questions on choosing your color palette? No? Okay. All right. So fonts and brand consistency. So in the on the membership site is a full video training. There's actually 2 videos. One shows you how to pick your fonts and pair them together. And then the other one is it shows you how to set up your brand in Canva for consistency. So it shows you how to make a mood board and to pick your colors with a Chrome extension that tells you the hex code, which is really going to come in handy. I find that's one of the problems that people have is they may pick their colors for their brand, but then when it comes to being consistent and creating graphics for it, they don't know what those colors are. So if you know the hex code, then you can do that. And I show you how to do that in those videos. Okay, so here's some examples of how you can implement your brand using just the information that I've given you. So picking your colors and then choosing your fonts. If you haven't gone through the font training yet, like you pick out like a header font, like a secondary header font, and then a body font. And then this is how it all ties together. Okay, so this is Amanda Daly. Here's her mood board. So you can see the colors and how it all represents her brand in the mood board. And then over here is a sales page an opt-in page that we created for her, and how we used her fonts and her colors, and we brought it all to life. And then down here is a share image so when she shares her opt-in page, this is the image that people see. And then just some branding elements, that we used in another landing page as well. So that's kind of how we all tied that together. Let's see. And then this is Becky Keene. She had really great photos, so we didn't even use any outside photos for her mood board. We took her photos and chose her color palette from that. And then this is just a page from her website, but the whole website was really consistent to this example right here. Here is a Facebook banner that we created for her. And then again, just like a mock-up image that we created for her brand. And the last example that I have is Abigail Bremner. And so we did hers a little bit different. We created just the logo and the color palette. We didn't do a mood board for her, But this is a sales page that we created using her branding, and you can see how we tied all the different elements in together. And then we created like a social media pack and how we implemented the visuals in her social media. So it's like we took it all and just tied it all together. And you'll have these to refer to maybe give you some ideas. Because like with hers, like you can see in the logo, it has the little symbol, and then it's also used across her branding in the backgrounds, and it comes through that way. So you can create patterns and use them subtly so it's consistent and it comes through all of your branding. So yeah. So I feel like I went through this really quickly. I thought it was going to be longer than this, but I've covered everything. If you have any questions, like I would love to answer your questions. If there's anything that you want me to show you, I'd be happy to do that. So just, I don't know.
I
have another question.
I was wondering, so like when they create their own banners, so like just for now, I've just been giving them tips on things they can just start updating, and they're getting like more visible on social media, so that like after the retreat, obviously they'll have all the professional photos to be able to get like the beautiful, like, banners and all the stuff that they need. But in the meantime, if they're creating their own banners for whether they've got an event or, it's just for their coaching or something like that, what are like the kind of tips you would give them for creating something like that just themselves on Canva now, like, in terms of like the wording to use, or so I can see with like Abigail's, you've got the details there for the Awaken the Divine Feminine retreat, and then just the dates. And then I know like with me in the past, you've done where we put like a catchy headline and then 3 words underneath. Can you like explain how that works and what they can do to create their own banners and what to do with wording and everything for now?
Yeah. So for banners, like if you don't have photos yet, I would choose, so I would go through and find a bunch of photos, maybe like 10 to 20 photos that visually represent your brand. So like go to a stock photo site. And so if you want to use a lot of flowers, or if there's a certain type of client, like lifestyle photos that you can look for, that's how I would do it. So I would, and there's different ways to do that. So like see here on Abby's, like I've used stock photos in there. Like you can do that for, like if it's a person or something, you can use any kind of photo in there. Or another thing you can do is, let me go back. And I may just do something for you here. Like I'll show you. But see like over here on Becky's header, where it says there's the photo, and then I put an overlay on top of that so that you could see the writing better. So, I mean, I could open Canva and show you right now, like how I would do that if you want.
Yeah, that'd
be great.
Because I know a lot of the ladies are just getting started with like Canva, so it's like, some haven't even used it before, so that would be super awesome.
Okay. And in the training where it talks about brand consistency, it talks about like using Canva to like, you put your colors in and your fonts and, sorry, hold on a second. So it walks you through like how to set it up in there. So it's, you know, okay, let's see. So what I noticed for Canva is like, say you're going to create a banner. They have these like they have these like pre-sized like Facebook cover here. It says like 820 by 312. Well, that's the minimum size. And if you use that, it's going to show up blurry. So I usually double it. So let's see. So is that 1640 by 624? So if you go up here to the top, make sure it's on pixels, and then 1640 is 624. Okay, so Canva has all these, you know, pre-made layouts, and you can use those. It just depends on what you're doing with it, right? And remember that when you make a Facebook banner, like if you're doing it for your personal page, your profile image is going to cover it a bit. If you're doing it for your business page, like on desktop, nothing's going to be, you know, obstructing the view of the banner. But on mobile, you'll want to make sure that like the main, like the text, it needs to be in the middle so that it shows up. If that makes sense. So that they can see it. So, okay, so here's what I was talking about. So like, so here's just a stock photo. Okay, and then you can take like an element, and we're gonna go to a shape and just do a square. You can stretch it out. I'm going to change the color to black. And then I'm going to make the transparency. I usually do it either 60 or 40, depending on the photo and the color of the overlay. But 60 or 40. Sometimes if that's not enough, and it depends on like what I'm doing, but sometimes I even do 85. So those are like the ones that I use the most. For this one, let's do like 60. Okay, so then when it comes to your headline, let's see. So let's say, let's do like a how-to headline, like how to create eye-catching infographics. So let's see, Canva makes it really easy. So you just click that. So hold on. So what I do is I break the title down. So how to create, and then the two words that I really want to emphasize is eye-catching infographics. So I would make those in one of my accent fonts. So for this, let's see. And then how I would do it is make this a little bit smaller, and then the two words that I want to emphasize, I'm going to make bigger. So let's see. Let's use the script. I don't know if eye-catching is one word or not. Let's make it one word, just so it looks better. And then I just play with it. I like how big that is. So like that's how I would do that. Let's see. I can't remember. I think in the members site, I have a training in there about creating headlines. And it's another like supplementary copywriting PDF. I can pull that up real quick and we could go through that if you would like to. Or I could show you some more graphic examples. Like it doesn't matter.
Well,
Like
the
what you got.
ladies we've got mainly at the moment, like there's a few doing retreats. So if there's like an example of like, you know, what you do for a retreat, like banner to put on your Facebook page, like, or they're going to have like, you know, maybe like 6-week health transformation programs or things like that. So what would be like some good examples for like if they've got a retreat, how to do their banner? Like I know Joanne's she's got feminine movement classes and retreats, and so she wants to create a banner for that.
Okay. So Pexels is one of my favorite stock photo websites. And you can just type in anything here. If it's like, say, like a health, let's do like healthy. See what comes up. They've got a lot of really great photos. Make sure, especially on free stock photo sites, you can find a lot of really good stock photography, but there's also a lot of really bad stock photography. So what you want to look for is like really clean photos. Nothing that's like edited too heavily. If I find a bad photo, like a really bad one, I'll point it out. So give me one thing to make. Like what do you want me to make?
Do you want to be an example, Nikki? Maybe you tell Amber about, you know, where you're currently at and like what, you know, a little bit about you. And if you were to make a banner, then maybe she could make an example for you.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So at the moment, I'm a PT, but I want to be able to reach out to more, expand my business in terms of offering more.
What's PT?
Oh, sorry, personal trainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So expand my business to offer more of health and well-being in terms of eating healthy, exercising, you know, meditation, essential oils, those sorts of things.
Okay. Okay. And what do you have coming up that you want to make a banner for?
So I'm actually starting from scratch. So I don't have anything.
Do you have like anything free that you're giving away right now, like an opt-in or?
No, I'm actually not doing anything at the moment. I'm just completely blank. So I'm not offering anything. I'm not doing anything. This is this is the start of like a new process for me.
So I'll just give you, Amber, like with Nikki, like what she'll start working on packages and things soon in the next week or two, and that's what we're going to work on. But I already know Nikki, she's like, you know, got a lot of health and wellness knowledge, and she's always posting, like she's very knowledgeable in the area. Like she'll end up doing something likely like a health coaching package or like a 6-week health, you know, program or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any kind of like tagline or anything like that? Like, let's see, like anything that you say a lot, like, eat better, live better, or I don't know.
No, I don't really. I don't know. I don't really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Should I?
well, I'm trying to think of something for a banner. So it's like if I'm making a banner and then we're going to make a
Yep.
headline, like I need something to work with. Like you don't.
Okay. So I would probably use just do it. Because in my lifestyle, and like just talking to my friends and family and stuff like that, I'm very much into just shut your whinging up and just do it. Like
Okay.
I know you don't like, apples.
Mhm.
I know you like potato chips, but too bad. Just do it, will you? Just eat healthy, just freaking exercise, and just do it. Shut your engine up. So do you know what I mean?
One thing about that, you should be careful because that's Nike's.
Yeah. So how do you?
And I bet if you use that, you would probably get some kind of letter.
Okay. So how would you be able to?
I would find a different way to word that.
Okay.
Do it. I would find something that's still you, but just find a different way to word it. So
Okay.
for now, I'll use just
Yep.
do.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Could it be
Okay.
something like just do healthy or something?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do healthy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. So, do you see? Okay, you don't have anything picked out at all.
Pardon?
So, for so if you do a 6-week program, would it focus on food, exercise?
Food first, then exercise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. I almost want, like, I would probably do something that would like show the result of the program. So someone who's living the lifestyle that they want to live.
Yeah.
You know. So like, I mean, I don't know anything about what your ideal client is, but like I would probably try to find someone who like looks happy and is doing the things that they want to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's say, I don't know, we'll try this one. We might try a couple others. Not pancakes. All right, let's do that one. So I'll just show you a couple. Oh. Ah. Okay. It might take a second for these to upload because they're full size. Let's see. I'm thinking about how to do this in Canva. Because normally I would do this in Photoshop and I would extend this out. But something you can do here is like this photo is white. Well, mostly white. So you could do, let's see. Oh, I can't do that with this one, sorry. If it was completely white, like I would have, sorry, hold on. Okay, so this photo doesn't work because I can't get it really in there like I want it. And you can't, it's not a good photo. So let's go back to this one. So this one's okay. I would prefer it if her hands could be in the photo. So this is just things to think about when you're creating your graphics. So like cutting off the hands. The legs are okay because it's not too big of a deal, but the hands is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Let's do this one. All right. So then, let's see. So you could put an overlay over this if you want, or you could leave it off. I really like the bright with the fruit. Another way you could do that is like, say, you could do something like this. So you can do like a half bar like that, or you could do a whole bar. You could do it like that. I want to go with like a half, probably. Okay. And then let's see. I'm just going to say healthy lifestyle because we don't know the name of your program.
Yep.
Say this is the name of your program. With fonts like this, I would always pair it with a sans serif, which is the other font. Where'd that go? Ah. Okay, so like Railway, this font is a sans serif. So in the font video that I give you, it talks about the different kinds of fonts. But so you have serif fonts and they have little feet on them, and then sans serif doesn't. It's a really plain, clean font. So that's what this is. And I always pair that with like the like handwritten kinds of fonts.
Yeah.
So, okay, make that white. I would probably make that bold. Let's see. So it stands out as a headline. It stands out as a headline. Okay, so then it would be like 6 week. That's too bold for me. I don't like that. Let's go with that one. Okay, so then when you're creating your headline, what you want to do is focus on the benefits. So usually you come up with 3 because things that are in patterns of 3 like creates a rhythm for us, and we remember things better when they come in 3s. So 6-week program 2, what are they going to do? Like regain control.
Increase energy and gain control, increase energy, and feel healthier.
Okay, so here you can see. Oop. And then I'll just size that till it looks the way I want it to. Okay, and then you go back and mess with the box to make sure it's in there, the text is in there centered. So that's probably like how I would do that. You could even put something in there like click the button to learn more or click to learn more, something like that. You could even make it look like a button because when they click on it, you know, it opens the image and then you can see the link. You can put the link in there as the description. It's just an idea of what you could do. You can make this box a little bit transparent just to give it some depth. So if you put it on like 90, and then you can kind of see behind it, but the words still pop. The thing is that you don't want to get it where it's hard to read. So,
Yeah.
So that's something that you could do. Let's see. Or you could even go. You could put it in the very middle because like I said, so it shows up on mobile like it's supposed to. So you could do it like that as well. Yeah, so that's just an example. Does that answer some questions about like, that was kind of hard since like I didn't really have a lot to go off of. Because normally like when I work with someone, we're creating something with, you know, it has a purpose. So
yeah.
But
that was
yeah,
good. That's exactly what I was like wanting them to just get an idea of, like when they do the banners, like how you said what was it, like you do it in 3s. That's what I wanted you to explain, because I help my clients with that too, but you articulate it really well. So yeah.
Here, give me a second. I'll pull up this other training if you want real quick and we can just run through it.
Awesome.
But it is in I'm going to stop the share real quick. It is in the members site. Okay, here it is. Okay. No. Okay. We already went through like most of this, but so your copy is really important. This is the one thing that I would totally nail first. I do think branding is important, obviously. Like that's what I do, but your messaging is going to really impact people first. Okay, so the basics. So what's in it for me? So this is like your secret sauce. Always think like your ideal client, because when they're reading something that you've written, they're like, what's in it for me? Even if they're not thinking that consciously, it's what's going on in the back of their head. So if you can't get that across in the first line or two, then they're not going to keep reading, right? So move from thinking about what you will get and start focusing on like giving and serving, and that's when your business will really start to move. So prospects want to hear about the end outcome, not the features and benefits. So this is one of the number one mistakes that I see when people first start working on their messaging and their copywriting. They want to start listing like all the features that the person's going to get, or like all the bonuses that they're going to get. And like, I mean, those things are nice to have on a sales page so that people know what they're getting. But when it comes down to it, like that's not the most important thing, because they want to know what the outcome is for them. And so we're like, really, it doesn't matter how you do that, like the process that you use to do that. Like they just want to know like, what that end outcome is for them. So this is an example. So like if someone told you that they could help you turn $100 into $1,000 in one day, like would you care how they did it as long as it was legal? It's like, of course not. You'd be like, no, like just show me how you do it. So selling, oh no, we don't need the quote. So profits are in the pain. So you want to really get clear on what their pain points are. So it's a well-known fact that people would rather avoid pain or losing something than to move towards pleasure. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't, include, like the pleasure side too. Like, I think that's good, but you really want to focus on the pain. So for example, when someone is thin, they're not thinking about how they need to go to the gym and eat healthy. But when they're, when they're overweight, like that's when they're experiencing the pain, right? So the pain is so someone who is overweight and experiencing pain as a result is more likely to want the results that you provide because they want it now. So like when you're putting your messaging out there, if you're a health coach, you're probably not marketing to people that are already healthy. You're probably marketing to people who are overweight. So your prospects want to hear about the end. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the rule of thirds. This is what I was talking about, like in patterns of 3. It creates a memorable pattern. So it's been scientifically proven that things that come in 3s are more memorable, more satisfying, and more effective. It's simple, catchy, and creates a rhythm. And it also makes you appear more knowledgeable, which is just, another good thing for you guys. Example, how to create a powerful brand that captivates your audience, positions you as the expert in your niche, and attracts your dream clients like gangbusters. So that's an example of a great headline. So if like if I were to create like a free PDF to put on an opt-in, like a landing page, that would be a great heading for me to use. All right, so headlines. So just know that like when someone is going through a sales page of yours, they're going through and they're going to read all of the headlines first, and then they're going to decide if they want to continue reading. So headlines are really important. Okay, so we're going to break it down and make it super simple. You're going to learn like proven headline styles and how to use them, and they're great for sales pages, Facebook posts, ads, live videos, registration pages, and bullet points. Okay, so whenever you use numbers, it's good to use 3, 5, 7, and you can even use 10, but 10 is a lot. So stick with like 3, 5, or 7 usually. So the 3, 5, or 7 steps to achieve desired outcome 1, desired outcome 2, desired outcome 3. So an example, the 3 steps to create your signature brand, stand out online, and rake in the money. Any questions so far? I love this stuff. This is fun to me. Okay. 3, 5, or 7 mistakes most people make when, with, and then a common action. So example, the 3 costly mistakes new entrepreneurs make their first year in business. Whenever we get done with these headlines, I'll stop for a second and show you how I would create a headline visually, like on a banner, just so you see that in action too. How to, and then insert achieve desired outcome. So how to creates expert positioning. It makes you look like the expert. It lets your audience know that you will be teaching them like how to do something. So how to create an irresistible brand that attracts clients in droves. So here, like you can see with this headline, I could have stopped at how to create an irresistible brand. But when you think like, what's in it for me? Like, why would they want to create an irresistible brand? Well, you want to attract clients in droves, right? Because that means more money to you. All right, so how to, and then outcome, 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 achieve a desired outcome. Okay, yeah. Without, especially, or even if, so use one of those words. And this, and then your objection. So objection that your ideal client has or a pain point. So this up here in the big bold letters, like that's the formula. So this is the beefed up version of the how-to headline. And it's the most effective headline that there is because you're handling the objection right in the headline. So instead of like not addressing pain points and trying to get them on a call and then addressing pain points there, this way you're doing it on the sales page and then you're more likely to get people on a call with you. For example, how to have more energy, take off the baby weight, and fit into your skinny jeans again without crazy diets or pills. Another thing would be like in only 15 minutes a day. You know, if you know that they're going to be like, oh yeah, I would love to work out more, but I never have time. Or I'd love to fit into my skinny jeans again, but I don't have time to work out or cook, right? So like, not that I'm saying you could do it in 15 minutes a day, but that's just an example. You can add a time frame in there. Include a time frame. So this makes it seem more real to the reader and lets them know that if they just follow your advice, that they'll get the results in that amount of time. So how to have more energy, take off the baby weight, and fit into your skinny jeans again in 45 days or less. So they know that there's actually, like if they follow what you say, then like in a month and a half, they're going to be seeing results. All right, so I want to stop for a second. So let's use that as an example. So let's see. These are all how-tos. They wouldn't necessarily be used on like a Facebook banner, but I'll show you how I break it down and use it in a design way. So All right, so how to have more energy. What was it? Take off the baby weight. Okay, so in 45 days or less. All right, so like here, so like let's say that you were making, like say this was your opt-in, right? Like your freebie. So it would have a name. So it would be like the beach diet. I don't know. But let's say that this is your title for your PDF, and then this was your tagline. So how to have more energy, take off the baby weight, and get into your skin again. And then, so I would do it like that. And then with this part, I would make that bold. And if you need to, like, you would just make sure that it matched your branding, obviously. Hold on. And I would really make that stand out. So you could like bold it and make it italic. Oh, that one doesn't have an italic. There we go. So see, you just break it down. So like each section you would just break it down. Does that make sense how I did that? Okay. Anyone have any questions yet? I know we're covering a lot of material, so.
There's some messages in the chat box.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. They're not questions.
There's one from Bria saying, what message is that? Should I do the same?
I don't know what that means.
Maybe we could just unmute her and she can ask. There we go. There you go, Ria. I unmuted you if you wanted to tell Amber what your question was, what that was about.
It was just linking to Charlotte's question in regards to watching replay. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries. I'll mute you. Sorry.
All right, so let's get back to this. Oh. All right, so power words. Okay, so this is where we're going to take boring copy and make it fun and attention grabbing. So you also have this, like I said. So there a list of proven influence triggers. So here, these are some phrases like you'll discover, simple, easy, new. New is always a good one because people always want like what's new and exciting. Easy and simple are good because people don't want things that are complicated. Let's see, avoid making the biggest mistakes. That one's obvious. Quickly, again, people don't want anything that's going to be long and drawn out. They want quick fixes. Effective lets them know. I mean, like it seems obvious that like what you're doing would be effective, but it's always good to include it in your copy. Best ways to, how to easily, and why. So these are all great for headlines. Or bullet points too. So when you're writing copy, it's easy to use regular, boring words, but it's better to use more descriptive words. So here's some examples. So like, instead of using the word hot, you could use like sizzling, blazing, sweltering. Learn, like tap into, master, unveil, beautiful, stunning, dazzling. One thing you don't want to do here is use words that are too smart. I think that's something that we can easily kind of get into as well. Like, you know, if you have a good vocabulary, like you may not think about it, but you want a 5-year-old to be able to understand what you're saying. So like my 5-year-old probably knows what discover means, or sizzling, or introducing, or secret. Like she knows these words. So make sure that it's easily understandable for everybody, because when they're reading it quick, like, you know, it needs to be fast. Okay, and then here, this is just a whole list of a bunch of power words so that you don't have to go and try to think these all up on your own. You can just go through here and write down words that are going to resonate with your audience, and then you can just start incorporating them into like your headlines and bullet points, or, you know, copy for your website, things like that. So you have a whole bunch of stuff here. So, and then at the end of this, there's also a little assignment. So like brainstorm 5 potential pain points, problem your ideal client has, and what they would pay anything to fix. Like how are these pain points, problems affecting their daily life right now? How can you help your ideal client solve this? And what's that solution? It's also really good, like with whatever process that you have, it's really good to give that process a name. Yep, kind of like you brand the process. Brainstorm potential objections your ideal client might have. Just having a list of these is going to be really helpful for you, so that whenever you're on like a call with somebody, like a sales call, like you already know the objections and you know how to answer them because you've already thought about it. Or like as things come up on sales calls, make notes of those. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Charlotte. Oh, go back. Okay. Let's see. Oh, and then it's just putting the copywriting techniques to use. So, okay, so that's all I have for this little presentation. Any questions about copywriting? Like those are like just going through there and practicing and writing things down that that are going to resonate with your audience. And then the more you practice, the easier it's going to get. And then you'll get to where you just like create these headlines and you don't even think about it. So, okay.
Does anyone have any questions for Amber? That's okay. Well, thank you so much, Amber. That was really awesome. And so for any of you who didn't catch it from the start, if you, once I post the replay, check it out. And Amber had a lot of information about brand messaging and consistency and finding your color palette and things about fonts. And then we did some examples of like Facebook covers. And when we jump on the call with me on Wednesday this week, I think I'm going to, just do a really quick run over the, like, your launching and packages. And I more want to have a chat to each person as we go through and see where you're at, like the bits that are making sense. That, like, it's a lot of information going in, but just trust that it's all going to come like out unconsciously, like when you start writing your posts and doing your messaging, and as you ask more questions, like, as I always say, the clarity comes from engagement. And I've worked with Amber for years where she's helped me with my branding, and it's just come to me naturally over time. Like, at first I had no idea what she was talking about, but the more I started writing, or the more I was like working with her and listening to the things she was saying, the more it started to make sense. And now it's so natural to me to come up with catchy headlines when I go to write a post. If I go to do a banner or something, and then and my brand has evolved and become more consistent over time. So nothing has to be perfect now. This is all of these things that we're giving you from all the different guests and the stuff that I'm giving you. It's all so that you can start to get your head around all the information, but you're not expected to just know how it all works straight away. The clarity will come from engagement, and you'll get the hang of the posting and the messaging and coming up with catchy headlines as you go along. And you can always keep going back and watching these replays. And Amber's also got like other trainings in the members site and PDFs, and so you can check them out and get some more information there as well. So is there any more questions before we jump off today?
Is that on our...
From Ria, is that on our website? In the membership site, you'll see there's a whole section, and we'll add in this call from today. I'm going to get Bobby to like eventually have little sections like Vaughan and Gerald and Amber and Kevin that have got their content that they've contributed, plus the call in it. So we've got this call here today, and then if you look in the membership site, there's a whole section for Amber, and it's got like a video on copywriting and all PDFs in there as well. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Amber, for taking your time off from Ria. It's
Website.
The membership site is on my website. Yeah. So if you just go on my website, faithismymiddlename.com, and then there's a members section you can click on, and you just pop in the password, and that's where all the workbooks are. And yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amber, for jumping on and sharing all your wisdom with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great. So it's good to meet all of you.
All right. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.